Welcome to match day 11 of Division 1 of the Simulation Soccer League. Joining me is Sarah TVC. I'm Socc with you, and oh my goodness, Sarah, this is really shaping up to be a tight relegation race with
down to
Hollywood.
down to the
Hollywood at the
final
top.
four in a lot more ways than just games. It
Yeah, I
is
mean, Athênai, what's going on with them? They've suddenly fallen to perhaps being within danger of a relegation spot, especially given their tough task against Catalunya for this first game. I mean, signs have to be kind of worrying for them.
Yeah, no, they picked a very bad time to start having a league slump, but on the other side of the table, Tokyo picked a really good time to start getting hot in this league, right? We're in that time of year where people are going to start talking about getting hot at the right time, and yeah, Tokyo has shown us that they know how to do that.
Absolutely. And I think they'll be the ones leading us off for this match day as they travel to Brazil to face União Sao Paulo.
Yeah, really a big game, bigger than the points will let on and bigger than our standings will let on. This is a third versus seventh currently in our standings. Tokyo, the team in third with 18 points. Union Sao Paulo in seventh on goal difference with 10 points right now, tied with Inter London on points. So this is going to be an important game for Sao Paulo. Even a draw here will do a massive favor for them. Of course, you always want to win, but if you had to pick between a loss and a draw, I'm sure Sao Paulo would take a draw, right?
Yeah, as we are underway once again for our first match day, or 11th match day rather, for our first game of a match day. Unfortunately, I'm a bit off my game today, but hopefully neither of these teams are. While we get ourselves started here, Sarah, why don't you go over the formations that we're looking at here?
So Sao Paulo have changed it up today. They are lined up in a formation in which we saw in the cup. This is a bit of a weird. Well, I want to say 4-3-1-2.
Oh, just hold on, Sarah. That's a goal. The Shinji Kaido, who just got sent through on a run, but didn't look that dangerous, but just beat Dorian Lexington to the punch and absolutely slotted a finish there. Here it is again. Ness just finds Kaido, and wow, immediately. Oh, what a finish that is from Kaido as well. Immediately, though, Tokyo striking in just the third minute.
So I kept talking because I thought that pass was going straight to the goalkeeper. Wow, what a finish by Kaido, but what a pass!
Yeah, great attacking play by Lydia Ness. Anyway, you talked about the two strikers just before I had to cut you off.
Yeah, well, the two strikers for Sao Paulo have not had as much favor as the two strikers on Tokyo, and early on, Shinji Kaido, not one of those two strikers, but part of that offense as he has been all year, finding the net. On the other side, it is Biscuit and Ibrahimovic. And here's Newman playing in the attacking midfield role today. So Ibrahimovic and Newman kind of swapping it up as they have this year.
Yep, he just had a chance there that went begging as I believe it was Patted Toastman that got back in to block it. Lexington out to Biscuit and Sao Paulo perhaps just looking to those two strikers to try and mount an attack. Here's Biscuit, goes back to Ibrahimovic. Turns it wide for Fesenvitz, and eventually nothing comes of it.
Expect to see a lot of interplay between those three up top there. They normally play at a three-man striker formation, and today they have decided to run with a bit of an asymmetric version of a five defender core. They have that right back Mayhem, as
Yep.
well as a inverted right back in Fesenvitz.
Very interesting. I
Yeah.
know that Mayhem usually does like to play in the centers there as it's offside on that opportunity. So I guess moving Mayhem out a little bit wider might help pivot them to having more attacking opportunities with Fesenvitz.
Yeah, in the cup we saw them do this to lock down.
Ness!
Wow.
Ness is in! Oh, wow. Lydia Ness is finally scoring.
We've seen her be very dangerous this year. She's had a couple of good shots from distance, but this one, well, you can't get much closer to the net without being in the net, and that's what she did with the ball right there.
Yeah, just a simple tap in forward there, and it was Nessie versus Rage, basically 1-on-1 from 4 yards out. Rage just tried to cut off the angle, but still kind of got weakly beaten at his near post.
Yeah, credit to Rage. He certainly tried, got caught in a bad position by his defense, got put into a bad position by his defense there. Nessie, no mercy though, puts that away as she just goes around him.
Yeah, and this will be huge for Tokyo if they claim this match, as it would mathematically save them from relegation, but also put them one behind Catalunya. With, of course, Catalunya still to play, as here's Newman trying to find a way past Soderberg, but locked out for a corner.
So in a bit of a twist of irony, it is actually Tokyo playing a 3 center back formation today.
Yeah, it looked like they were playing just a 5 at the back, really, with 2 wing backs. So I believe that's Visser and Nessie. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct, except I would call it a 3, even though Visser and Nessie are on those wingback positions. They cut inside very frequently. I wouldn't exactly call them wingbacks.
Fair enough, but he is. Nessie sending a long pass to Hayden, and Nessie, well, that shot not quite on target.
Yeah, just look
But
at the positioning there from Visser and Nessie, both of them. Just cutting inside more like inside forwards.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think like that's kind of just more creating a bit of a different formation for them. Just kind of makes it more malleable, even when they can play 5 at the back, as Hayden clears the cross away and all the way out into Sao Paulo territory. Tried to find some earlier opportunities, and nothing for Sao Paulo just yet of his first 15 minutes.
Oh wow, we've only gone 15 minutes?
Yeah,
I thought we were nearly midway through this game.
it's been a lot of action thus far, as here's Nessie cutting through, finds Hayden, chance for a third, is blocked out by Ansha.
We're seeing these wingbacks just overwhelm Sao Paulo's defense.
As
That's
that time a
clear.
shot is cleared for a corner, from the corner rather.
Yeah, I've cleared off the line. I wasn't quite sure who the defender there was.
I believe it was Rage that hit it into Lexington, who I believe plays on that near post. Oh, it was Ansha, then corrected. Nessie again, that time though, isn't able to get by the first defender of Lexington. Yeah, looking at it, it's more like a 5-2-1-2 there, but just because they can play so much further forward with Visser and Nessie in attack, but it plays more like a 3-4-1-2.
Yeah, 100%. What I really love is that Soderberg and Hogg have been given free range to just roam in the midfield. Right, but oftentimes we're gonna see that Tokyo go and start a little wider. They'll cycle the ball out wide to Nessie, who cuts inside, and Soderberg gives her that space because she's somewhere else on the pitch. Right. Unfortunately, what it kind of translates to defensively is that midfield is often kind of empty for Tokyo if they don't have the ball.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it is kind of, a pseudo 5-2-3 that can be otherwise. Here's Newman, put the shot right on, but Berger was able to turn it away and over the top for a corner. Just over 20 minutes gone, and Newman tried to find Rise, or couldn't find Rise. Might have been actually hit out by both of them. Sorry, I get my teammates mixed up again. Yeah, Skyrise and Powder Toastman. I mean, there's no real ability to try and beat them. You do get a bit of a better look at the formations there with Vesenvitz and Mayhem basically playing 2 right backs as a corner. About half an hour gone, it's cleared out by Inclan and right to him Brimovic. Brimovic might be able to dance by Visser, but just gives it off to Vesenvitz. Vesenvitz look for a long ball here with Coffee Biscuit, 1-on-1, hit the post with the shot. And that is a chance gone banging for Sao Paulo to draw them back within 1.
They have had chances this half, and a lot of them have come off the quick pass for the streaking forward. We will see if it comes to fruition here. Nope, Kaido will almost turn that around.
Yep, nearly just put it into that top left corner like he did in that first goal, but that time just a little bit too high. The standings as they run, might just correction on that one in a moment. Oh no, sorry, it's because it's counting for 1 point for Catalunya as they are currently in a drawn position. Thanks to the way of our simulations. We don't know what's going to happen with them yet because we only find out as they run. Rising Predator is saved by Rage.
to save the spoilers, everyone is in a draw until they actually play, which is why the standings look a little funny from time to time. That's actually not something we touch. That's just how the game works.
Yeah, part of a quirk of a simulation soccer league on how games are calculated during play, as Kaido ends up stealing the ball from Fred, sends it out for Sky Rise one-on-one, but missed a lot. Another chance here just before halftime. Tokyo still looking to pile on some potential pressure.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's 1 of 10 shots Tokyo have had this half.
They've had a lot of opportunities to attack and have been able to capitalize on a couple of them to convert into goals. It's playing a little far back for my liking, and as such wasn't able to send a ball in for Kaido.
I was gonna say, why is Sam Siege up top and Sky Rise all the way? Nope. Siege plays on the other team. That's why.
That would make sense, as Kaido is sent through on a run, but about 20 yards out, and was 15 perhaps, and nothing came of the shot there from Kaido as Rise again whips up into it. Perhaps they're just playing different strikers up front. That might be why. As Nessie's cross, try to find Rise again, but
No, you know what it is? It is Tokyo who are in the salmon jerseys and Sao Paulo who are in the red jerseys.
Were you getting those mixed up?
Yeah, it's
What happened?
they're both shades of red as it turns out.
Yeah, and you see Tokyo have had a majority of the shots and have produced more shots on target than Sao Paulo have had shots themselves. So
Yeah, no, speaking
probably
of
the
shades
finishing has
of
been
red,
strong.
probably what Sao Paulo's kind of feeling right now. They've had a couple of good looks, but really a frustrating half for them. Every time they kind of advance the ball, Tokyo are all over them.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good swarming defense from both three at the back. Mike Crop, especially for my money, has been very strong in being able to defend.
Yeah, I spoke a lot about how transitionally that Tokyo formation is wonderful, right? They're able to drive that ball out from the back, those wing backs, but defensively as well, those three center backs have more than held their own.
Yep. Powdered Toastman playing Vapkaver and Squall Vachetti. The many veterans of Tokyo Pax. 5 of their team have been part of that Season 1 class. Of course, Emiliano Yoshisagi currently being arrested around other teams. And Brimovic had an opportunity, but was offside.
Yeah, very much offside. I thought he might have been a Tokyo defender, if I'm honest, the way the ball was played to him.
Yeah. Honestly, when you said salmon, I thought you meant salmon pink, but now I do see what you mean now with the salmon orange that Tokyo is in. As Fesovitz and Mayhem, the two right backs, playing fairly far upfield as Inclan finds Newman and Brimovic on a run, beats Berger to the ball and slots it home. And Sao Paulo have finally halved their deficit.
They've been pressing since the beginning of the second half, and they're finally rewarded with their goal. A real beautiful chance here by Brimovic, who outweights Josh Berger. Berger raced out to try to get to that ball before Brimovic realized he lost the race and took a dive, and unfortunately for him, Brimovic was already past him.
Yeah, it looked like the way that Berger was diving as well. Just looked like he was trying to block a shot that hadn't come in yet. Well, should just go on the ground and try and completely shut off the angle, but nonetheless, a mistake that he may rue. Now Sao Paulo looking quickly to equalize. Here's Newman! Oh, and just as quickly as Tokyo hit with 2 goals in 10 minutes in the first half, Sao Paulo do exactly the same in the second, and we are tied.
And who else but Fesovitz with the pass here that finds Brimovic. Newman just really on that crash, goes past Toastman and slots the one-timer home into the net. Really, really well played by Brimovic, who has been quite sensational from his position. He is a striker in this formation, but he is playing sort of that hybrid role interchangeably with Newman, and it's worked really well.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of jinxed Tokyo in all honesty, mentioning how good their defending has been from the 3 center backs, and now have just been picked apart, and it might be picked apart for a third time here, but that time Mike Crop gets in the way of a shot, and it's cleared from danger. They're able to sweep up a clearance. Rise now finds Kaido. Kaido 1-on-1 saved by Rage, and Lexington keeps from going up for the corner.
Massive save. If Sao Paulo can salvage a point here, that they're going to look back at that moment as a key one there for them. Ooh, overrun the ball. That's did.
And just trying to dribble a bit too far there. Also trying to keep it in as Rice tries to whip it out for Hayden, but Lexington is there. It's covered him off well. I think that first 10 minutes really. Messi right back into the affray and finds Kaido this time. Kaido with a very narrow angle and decided to take the shot on rather than trying to center it. And that might come to pass in a very tough way for Tokyo as now the counterattack mounts. Except Ibrahimovic was caught offside.
You mentioned it earlier. I'll call it out right now. Raj is dropping from his position as a striker really, really frequently, and I don't like it.
Yep.
I often, and likely Tokyo, often look for Rise to be that talisman forward up top to win the ball, head it on for a Hayden, and he's trying too hard to make the pass.
Yeah, well there
when
he is
should
right going for the header.
On the end of those.
Yep.
Right, but it's hard to be on the end of that.
Game plan, and that's what they've gone for, but
yeah, no, but it's hard to be on the end of that when you're in the midfield.
Yep. Now Archer, that was still a ball from net, and a little tap through by Biscuit is cleared away by Vercetti.
Crucial clearance by Vercetti there, and again, really good defense from Tokyo. That 3 center back formation really working for them.
Soderberg whipped over to Viss. Oh, good save by Rage. Get up there and get to that ball that was aiming right for his top left corner.
Yeah, after his 10-minute warm-up, he's been sensational.
Yep, can't fault the play since then in these following 55 minutes. Hog now will try and send through Soderberg playing up. Rage makes a parry. Oh, nearly made a very big mistake with the back pass, but eventually able to clear it, and Bisco was able to get on the end of it as well. Chetty, however, stops the attempted through ball to Ibrahimovic.
I mentioned Soderberg there, and there it is again. Rise kind of dropping a little deeper. He allowed Soderberg to run into his spot there, and that's why she got that opportunity.
Yeah, it helps with fluidity there as Berger would make a save on a bit of a long shot that time.
Though I will say she did make a mess of the shot. I do want to know if a striker with a better foot might have been able to make most of that chance.
Some people we may never know, but here's Rise with an opportunity and another save by Rage.
No, we just found out. A striker with a better foot wouldn't have put that home. He just had the exact same look that she did.
I suppose so. I guess we found out. Now Fesovitz again. Down deep in that corner, just goes back to Mayhem, and then if Inclan Hayden tries to make an intercept but couldn't control it. Just ended up back with McFred. Mayhem now attempting the through ball to find Ibrahimovic. Back for Newman! Oh, what a finish that is! The double digits on the season. And put right into that left side.
What a brilliant play by Ibrahimovic right here. Watch this selfless pass. Any other striker thinks about tapping this home from that angle, but no, he actually plays the back pass here to Newman, who just slams that home.
Yeah, it might have been that he just didn't see the look there thanks to Powder Toastman covering it off and realized, wait, we have the numbers here, let me just go back. And then it was Newman who was, I think, just outside the area, able to take that shot and delivered.
Yeah, it was a one-touch pass too, so could have been instinct, but I like to give the player the benefit of the doubt here and say that was intentional. Brilliant little passage there from Sao Paulo.
Very well could have just been a set play from open play. That might be practiced on the training ground as Vercetti. I'm going to get away from Ibrahimovic. Hogg will try and whip one up for Hayden to try and equalize, but just wide.
Hayden playing a little hero ball there. Kind of rushed that shot. Pressure's on for Tokyo, though.
Yeah, they need to try and find some more, at least in the tank, to try and get a point out of this, because giving up this loss to Sao Paulo would be detrimental for them, especially given, we talked up their chances to perhaps give themselves an opportunity later on in the season to challenge for a higher spot, but This time a rebound. Ooh.
Yeah, no,
Caught
I
myself
think
there for a
this is
moment.
just one of those not like this sort of matches, right? For Tokyo, they started this half up 2-0.
Oh, I believe that will absolutely sting to drop. 0-5 would pretty much, well, would mathematically have much title chances, but they won't be that now. Sky Rise finally on the end of one and is able to corral it home.
I am gonna bag on him just a little bit here, even though he scored this goal. Watch where he is right here. He drops all the way back, and then he creates this play. He sets Kaito up, who finds Nessie, and Nessie just sends that back in right to him. But that's because he dropped off. So well done to Rise. Really kind of playing a different sort of role today.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of those cases where they don't ask how, they ask how many, and well, has finally got his first as Kaido a shot. Oh, challenge rage, but didn't need to move far to make that save.
Well, speaking of how many, Shinji Kaito is looking for number 3 right now.
Well, CJ is able to clear it out. Not aware of a waiting aforementioned Kaido is, who takes it to the right flank and tries to whip it in for Sky Rise, but it was just poised wide.
Can you
Had
imagine the
flashbacks there.
chaos if Tokyo end up winning this game?
Yeah, I mean, from going 2-0 down to potentially blowing it to getting it back, but here's an opportunity, one-on-one, Hayden and Rage. Hayden put it wide again. Agonizing for them.
For them, for me, that was a really good look. I'm just sitting here wondering, what if? Oh, well, one last chance here for Tokyo, maybe. No, could go the
Potentially,
other
but there
way.
could also be a counterattack here in these final 30 seconds. Perhaps plus a little bit more, depending on what the referee feels like. Fesenvitz has still been running. Felt like he went for a 60-meter dash there. Biscuit flicks back for Ansha. Ansha closely marked by Soderberg. Back for McFred. Rupp will head it clear. I think so long as Tokyo can hold on to it, they will be able to take the point out. And I feel like both teams probably feel like they missed 3 points here.
Yeah,
But
but
the
also
referee finally decides it's over.
I think both teams will be happy with a point from this one. We ended the match, and it is what a game. Oh, what a game.
It's very interesting to see that expected goals shot as well, because all those quality chances that Adam Rage was able to turn away, especially during that second half, proved exceptionally crucial in this.
Yeah,
Great
no,
work.
I'm gonna go back to something I said earlier. Apart from the initial 10 minutes, had himself a very good game. Obviously, Tokyo scored that late equalizer, but I'm certainly not going to blame Rage for getting beat 2-on-1 there. Linnea
Yeah.
Nessie picking up the player of the match for her assist. That's the second assist she had this game. She scored a goal earlier, so she's been the key playmaker for them, involved in all 3 efforts.
Yeah. Can't argue with that one, really, even though there was an exceptional performance put up with 2 goals and assists by Jeff Newman.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with how Newman performed as well, playing in that attacking midfield in a shadow striker role. We see success from it. We have seen success from it in seasons prior. I think the 4-1-4-1 was employed with 2 shadow strikers in the past. That was very good. But happy to see the re-rise of the shadow striker role this year.
Yeah. Great to see that, especially if, some of it's able to get involved in multiple ways with Newman and Ibrahimovic basically just trading the goal scoring roles as both. And that is actually Tokyo's first draw this season.
Yeah, no. So there's a lot of reasons as to why I felt the way I felt throughout that match. I'm a big fan of structured fluidity, and that was a lot of fluid chaos, right? You kind of alluded to it with Ibrahimovic and Newman, right? But that wasn't the only pairing that kind of swapped positions this game, right? I talked about Skyrise a lot being in different spots, but that opened up spots for his teammates to be in places where they normally aren't, right? And it was really fun to watch. Stressful for me, but fun overall.
Yep, as we just about ready to move into our second match. Uh, Champions in waiting, perhaps Hollywood with a win and a Catalunya non-victory would secure themselves a title, while Cairo City will drop to within 1 point of Sao Paulo if they aren't able to salvage one here.
Well, that point for Sao Paulo being very important now because it does put them, well, presuming in Inter-London draw or loss, ahead of Inter-London on the table.
I don't think that will be the case because I'm pretty sure don't Sao Paulo have a worse goal difference?
I apologize. That is correct. Only a loss for Inter-London would result in them being below Sao Paulo and Sao Paulo being ahead. But
Yeah.
with Inter-London playing Kaapstad, I don't think that might be likely.
Yep, there's that first chance for Cairo there, really. Just put off target there by Wesley Staines. And it looks like Hollywood are going to try and get out to an early one again, but Inquire wasn't able to find the target. Looking at this, the asymmetric 4-2-3-1 for Hollywood, they decided to play Tiki Taka as the main forward.
Yeah, they've lined up in this sort of asymmetric formation all year. It's been their go-to, and it's hard to it's hard to argue against it. It certainly worked for them. They've only dropped one game this year, and that is in the cup. That was to Tokyo, who we saw earlier today. But no, otherwise in the league, this has been their bread and butter.
Yep, and the only thing that really changed around is the roles there, as he has asked Jeeves, trying to put in a blast through one, but blasted it way too high. And Cairo 4-1-2-3, would you call that one?
No, more of a 4-3-3 DM wide. It's also a formation they've continually gone to this year, and to be frank, I think it's the only formation they have the personnel to play.
Yeah. I suppose because I think of a DM, it's always 4-1-2-3, but either way, Yang Kwai taking that one and trying to send a long crossover to Bobby and ended up receiving it outside the area. Goes back inside for Puttanesca, and now with Possible. Puttanesca has it blocked away by Bjorkus, and Possible just barely able to get the challenge onto Torres and sent back in for Ricky Bobby, who was offside, but also put it wide.
Bit of a history lesson on the 4-3-3. The 4-3-3 traditionally is played with a defensive midfielder and those wide players, right? So for me to say 4-3-3 DM wide is a bit of a, well, it's an overkill. The reason I say it is because friggin' not Sao Paulo, AS Peri and Buenos Aires have at times played a true 4-3-3 with 3 centralized midfielders. So now I have to differentiate.
I usually think of 4-3-3 as the wide with just left mid, center mid, and right mid, but I suppose with a CDM, I guess you can make that clarification. Here's Rashford through on a break and a good save by almost a heretic, and Schnooks just clears it out.
Yeah, whereas that last match was action-packed and took forever to get through the game overall, this match has flown by. We're 30-something minutes in already.
And Cairo have thus far been able to hold their own. Almost Heretic hasn't been challenged too greatly, has still put up some decent saves, but Bobby there might be able to challenge him once more after taking that one away from Jeeves, taking around the right flank, but cross was blocked by Black, fell back for Possible in a similar spot, goes back inside for Bobby, but sent back out by Bjorkus, new just sent it right back to Puttanesca, and Tiki Taka from that range, from that angle, he wasn't missing. 1-0 Hollywood.
It's hard not to look at Noodle here and say, what are you doing, bud? He just, one too many moves. Puttanesca just picks him off, takes the ball for himself, and puts that to Tiki Taka, who, like you said, all day, every day from that position.
Yeah, I mean, I would call that MLG, but only MLG in the mistake leading to goal kind of manner.
Yeah, that's definitely one MLG right there.
Yeah, sound your air horns and give us your best hit markers. Jeeves, I think, has also been not great for them, so perhaps just need to look at what's going on about left side of midfield to figure out what they want to do next.
I'll tell you what's going on the left side of the midfield and the left side of Hollywood's attack is Liang Kai. The other side of that.
Yeah. And speaking of, here is Yang Kwai, just able to beat Arasov. Sends a short ball in for Tak of a low cross. Tak basically takes it out to the other side and decides, all right, let's swing it the other way for Bobby. Back inside if possible. Podaniska send it to Bobby. Oh, what a finish. Absolute filth there. And just as quickly as they scored one, they score another.
Hollywood are just out here having fun.
Yep. That's exhibition type shooting there, right between three defenders and into the left side to the goalkeeper's right.
There's nothing the Heretic
Nigh
could have done
unstoppable,
about
yeah.
that. As a goalkeeper, one, you can't get to that spot even if you wanted to. It's just tucked so perfectly into that top corner. But no, as a keeper as well, you're screaming at your defenders, guys, there's three of you there. Someone get in front of that. And wow, he just put that in the best spot he could.
Yeah, had to put pressure on the shot there, and there was really nothing on it. Jeeves' header, just not enough weight on it, and Sterling just corrals it into his gloves.
And this is kind of what we've seen from Hollywood all year. They just score at will.
Yep.
Seemingly, that is.
Well, I mean, just sometimes it's just like, hey, do we want to score right now? Yeah, sure, let's go for it. Might be what's on now. But perhaps Cairo can put a stop to it. Got to try and stop the onslaught here. Don't want to give up 3 goals in 10 minutes. It's a death sentence, especially against a team like Hollywood.
Yeah, no, you gotta slow the game down. You're playing Hollywood style right now, and look at that. Another chance. That is offside, though.
Yeah, it always is. Yeah, it's interesting to me looking at the crossing here. 9 crosses completed by Hollywood. Granted, a lot of them have been to open space where it's just been first of a ball, but that is still quite impressive.
Yeah, you asked earlier, where's Ash Jeeves in this match? It's a good question. I likely suspect he's been busy with that. Hollywood play really good with their asymmetric whip. And what I mean by that is they always manage to find a way to send the ball wide, right? On the left-hand side, I believe, is Gerard. On the right-hand side is Tim Possible. And
Yep.
both of those players are probably some of the most underrated fullbacks in our league. They're not flashy. They're not key playmakers. But God, they're so consistent.
Indeed. We won't likely see any changes here for Hollywood, of course, given that they pretty much just run this 11-man roster, but there is one change for Cairo. They decided to bring on Willie Normus in place of Felix Adasov.
So a change in the right back sort of there for Cairo, hoping to get a little bit of refreshing legs on there to keep up with the relentlessness that is Liang Kai.
Yep. And yeah, Tiki Taka as well, I feel. Both of them can be kind of quelled by that role. But it depends if they can actually do anything about it.
Yeah, I typically see the 4-3-3 DM line employed to counter the 4-2-3-1 as Torres gets a chance.
Yep, good save there, Sterling, and just a long shot there that was well placed, but Scott Sterling able to turn it away as Jeeves tries to whip it in for Flemish, I believe that was, but he would have found another corner there as it's headed back through by Costanza. Jeeves again, but headed out there by Costanza.
Torres, we're looking for a little bit of SSL magic. We've had some of it in both matches so far, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's worth a try. That through pass to Ricky Bobby didn't materialize. Cairo was able to send it clear. Gerard just stepping by for Liang Kwai. Liang Kwai in for Bobby and the head again. Oh, it's such a great way to finish. Ricky Bobby so tall at 6'10", unbeatable in the air, and makes it 3-0.
Special shout out to Gerard here. He's not going to get the assist, but he did make this play.
Yep, he sent that ball in on a through ball for Liang Kwai, who was a man who was the ball and really Normus was not putting any real pressure on him, and he basically got free reign to send it where he needed to and put it exactly where he wanted it to be.
No, so what happened there was Willie Enormous is tracking Liang Kai. He's man marking Liang Kai. So that ball got put into space, and Enormous is supposed to drift over there and intercept that. He's too busy marking Kai, who cut inside, then moved outside. And by the time he got to the ball, Enormous was dust. Like he left his ankles rooted where he stood, and Liang Kai hooked that cross right through them.
Yeah, just a whole bunch of triangles left outside the penalty area. Yang Kwai now again against Normus. Almost trying to tag up against him, but Yang Kwai again across and again a goal. There was pressure on that one, but he couldn't stop the placement.
Oh,
Who
that
could
is
stop him is the
offside.
assistant referee, because he was absolutely trapped there by Ask Jeeves.
Yeah, by a mile and a half, Ricky Bobby is offside. I mean, he loved celebrating that, but
Yeah, I think he just
he
thought Jeeves was just following behind him and placed him on,
he
but
had to have
never
known.
happened.
He had to have known.
Yeah, potentially. This one he will be on side for though, and he tries to send a very narrow angled shot, but almost the Heretic able to cover it off.
I actually think he tried to swear past there, which is
Didn't seem like there was
surprising.
anyone really threatening in the attack there though. Probably should have sent it further back if you wanted that.
Yeah, I
Snook able
agree.
to clear
He's
that
looking for
corner out.
Taka.
Rashford back, trying to find Liang Kwai, but headed clear by Staines. Gerard got back to rescue that one. Impossible. Now back in for Liang Kwai. Tagged again by Norma. Staines able to try and make a challenge. Liang Kwai, oh, it took a bad bounce off Huda, but it ended up being Snooks that headed away, and now Cairo looked to launch a counter.
Yeah, key
Potanesca
header by
stopping it.
Snooks there because that was nothing but net. Uh, Heretic had already dived to try to make the save, missed the ball completely, and if that had landed on the wrong foot, that would have been the back of the net.
Yep, as it looks like one last indirect free kick, perhaps. Or rookie Bobby nearly had that one, but just sent wide that time.
Yeah, looking for his trifecta today, with his head, of course.
Yeah, the head trick, not just the
Uh,
hat trick. The hat trick off the head.
yeah, famously performed by Skyrise.
Don't remind me. Cavatori now for Bobby. Will he finish it with a foot? No, he just lets it roll through back to Elmas the Heretic. Figure with the way they are now, they probably don't need to run anything more up.
No, the ball just wasn't high enough.
Oh, yeah, of course. He needed to try and lift it up to his head, but, it's so difficult to do that, especially on the run.
Ran out of space, goalkeeper cut him off, that's what happens.
Yeah, and he was maybe looking for another hat trick, but he ran out of time. But Hollywood will take a 3-0 win here over Cairo and may very well be sealing that championship up, of course. We do await for the results of what may be one of our 2 next games, being Hollywood having won. You have Cairo. Sorry, not Cairo. They beat Cairo. I'm all over the shop here.
It is Catalunya and Athênai.
There we go. We got it.
Speaking of got it, Ricky Bobby got man of the match. But
Yep.
not by much. Liang Kai on 8.5, just 1 point off of him with his 2 assists. Of course, both of them on Ricky Bobby's goal.
Yeah, I mean, if you contribute that way, I guess it makes sense. And well, just wasn't a great game for Cairo, especially Franco Torres, who is, as some might put it, playing a second half form.
Well, special shout out for Snooks there. He scored a 7.0 in this bit of a disaster class for that Cairo defense. He saved a goal with the header, right? Hood actually played well on a 6.9.
Yeah, the centre backs did decently, but that's really the only bright spot there, I feel.
Yeah, no, it's hey, it's Hollywood, right? You can only mark so many men. You can only defend so many men before somebody finds some space, and that's what they've done all year.
As that is
And
the case. And
can
he
they
did mention it. Coming up next is Athênai versus Catalunya, and Athênai looking to break a slump, make sure they can survive another year in Division 1.
Catalunya looking to deny Hollywood their title. They have to
Yeah.
know.
I mean, that's probably what's going through their mind right now. If Catalunya are kept out of winning 3 points this go around, meaning that Catalunya will have to watch and see another chance go begging. Hollywood would go back to back and potentially back to back to back. My history is nowhere.
So we
Elvo, I
are
mean,
we are seeing a 4-4-2 narrow diamond coming out of Catalunya. They use this one in the cup as well. Athênai playing in their 4-3-3 with their defensive midfielder and their wingers.
yep.
Formation they've used the entire year as well, though Catalunya has changed it up a couple of times. The 4-4-2 narrow diamond a little newer to them.
And this is one of those where I think that looks more like a 4-1-2-1-2 to me, but I understand. Anyway, Olivier, who is one of those midfielders that has been very crucial, I feel, for Catalonia. Ends up turning the ball over, though. Jaeger finds 44 and a great save by Gunnarsson. Force for corner. I did see Gunnarsson actually miss an opportunity earlier on, but I believe it was Kamoriatu was playing back and was able to make a great shot block. Nonetheless,
Yeah, you mentioned
very
two very important players for Catalonia, Anaver and Akimoa, two inspirational moves that were made during this offseason. Both players in on loan and both players playing key roles for Catalonia this year.
Yeah. And to go back to an earlier point, if Hollywood does win this title, it would be back to back and their third league championship. So technically both are correct. But here's Okamoto to try and spoil that party. And Shio Okamoto delivers a beautiful ball right in to the corner of the net. And Yannick Anderson couldn't do anything to stop that.
Third goal of the year for the Japanese forward, and it is a beauty here. Looked like he may have been offside, but Lockyer did keep him on just barely. He beat the offside trap. I'll give the benefit of the doubt to Okamoto there, who just puts that past Anderson. And we've seen a lot of shots this year that have been tough to stop. That's one of them.
Yep. Beautifully placed, but Athênai immediately looking to equalize, so it's cleared away by Fist and once more by Olivier to find Mojo Rising, who dances by Henrik Lind and nearly have the opportunity for himself, but free. Athênai defenders got back to cover. Vince, Anderson only parried it against the top of the bar, the bottom of the bar rather, but it was enough to keep it out.
Yeah, I thought that shot was going to go high and wide, and it just took it under curl that I did not expect. Neither did Anderson, it seems.
I guess they're not playing for Yabalani in this one. But again, Catalonia looking to mount a secondary attack, though the pass back to Okamoto was cut off by Jaeger. Mentioned, though, Hollywood have the most titles in SSL history with their 2 of 6. But here's Maple with a shot that's saved by Anderson and turned away for a corner. Of course, all other clubs just have one with Cairo, London, Tokyo, and the team now known as Reykjavik. Olivier's cross in is turned away by Legmanen. Oyatu rescued it back, tried to give another pass back to Olivier, but he didn't get onside following him taking that corner kick. That takes us quickly to the break. And in spite of Athena having a majority of the chances, they find themselves down right now.
Yeah, I think that's a bit, well, not strange that Athena find themselves down. I think it's a bit strange that Athena have had the bulk of the opportunities, the run of the mill there, because for a lot of this match, it's looked like Catalunya has had that. The Catalunya looked really good on the ball. They looked really good transitionally on the attack. It's just they haven't been able to get to the net very often.
Yeah, just not many opportunities as we are quickly into the second half, and no super sub this time. Looks like Mojo Rising is going to be playing the full 90 in this one.
Yeah, no need to super sub when he's already on the field. See if he can be super without the sub, though.
A little bit of cameos, but nothing too fancy as Vince tries to get a corner in, but blocked out for a corner by Ramirez.
Now,
Usually Clark comes on for.
halftime went so quick I didn't get a chance to praise Athena for as highlight filled as that first half has been. Athena has been really effective with their time on the ball, 45%, and you said it earlier, the bulk of the chances, the XG indicating that they did have the better of the chances that half. And I would agree, they had some good looking opportunities.
Yep, perhaps that one that was blocked that went begging is Kamoyatu challenged Anderson, but it just went over the bar. And it just grazed the top of the netting there as well. Athênai now looking to attack from the left side and just bringing it back into the corridor. Pushing out a gin tonic. Labovic shot blocked by Vince and headed away by Järvinen. Cold and wet out there as Järvinen receives a yellow. I did want to... Oh, no. Now I'm losing my train of thought here. There was another thing I wanted to speak on briefly, but I suppose it's probably not relevant to this match given what we have on the cards for later on. Get to that when the time comes as Skets finds a Nivier and sends it through for Järvinen. Järvinen has it blocked by Joka and out for a corner. Vins takes a corner and headed away by Lind. Back in by Maple. Down Vins was placed on side. Maple a long shot, but nowhere close. Basically won an aerial battle with that falling down for Fischer, then Jaeger, now 44 again. Labovic across, Juliusson missed the header, but it missed everyone else. Joka out to Labovic, shoved by Gintonic! Oh, he went for the pass back instead of the header for the shot, and Athênai has suddenly equalized.
Beautiful touch shot by Gintonic. He's shown time and time again he can put the ball home. He doesn't often find himself in a position to do so, but Labovic certainly puts him in the position there. And just wonderfully worked ball from Athênai. We've seen that when they struggle to find goals from 0-44, as weird as that sounds, but it's happened this year. But when they've struggled to find goals from 44, they turn to their wide players with Labovic, Fischer, Yorker. They all combine and create a lot of magic.
That's one of the things that they just are able to do sometimes, convert something from nothing. And well, I'm not sure if that would technically apply to that chance, as we've had a fair few of them and it kind of just fell back for an open look that they're able to convert. So I might look for another one here. Gintonic finds Labovic, blocked out by Juliusson. Now for Gunnarsson to just send it as far as they can. Rest keeps it from going out for a throw, giving Catalunya some extra momentum. Labovic finds Gintonic. Gintonic in for 44. It was onside. Gunnarsson tips it out for a corner.
Beautiful save by Gunnarsson, sprawling out, rushing out to meet 44. And she did the right thing that time. A lot of times we see the goalkeepers rush out to their demise. But Gunnarsson of a different breed.
Yep. Very well on that one. Juliusson finds Busquets and tries to clear it out for Rising, but Lind was there. They might just try and send that long ball out once more, but that time it doesn't fall for 44, and only with this. Pretty much carbon copy attacks attempted to be created. Vince trying to dance for Ramirez, try to get to Kamoyatu, but blocked out by Gintonic. Anderson clear it out. Now the counter mounted by Athênai. Fischer finds Joka, running down that left flank. Finds 44, a chance saved by Gunnarsson. Rebound is corralled by Vins. Oyatu now for Nivier. Oh, just had a bad first touch on it. Ended up just giving it up for Ligmanen, who sends it back for Anderson to clear out under not much pressure. Fischer with a great intercept, and now Athênai mounting. 44, one-on-one. Offside.
Yeah, just a foot offside there was 0-44, and it looked good, but end of the highlight shows it wasn't in the net, so good save by Gunnarsson regardless, but...
Yep. Oh, Maple!
Oh, Maple!
Oh, what a shot that is, and what a time to do it with just under 10 in regulation remaining.
Yeah,
Just
Maple showing 44
beautiful
how
volley.
to do it. absolutely destroyed this ball.
Wasn't quite a volley. I thought it was more aerial there, but it was Mojo Rising that just tapped it on for him. And Dogwood Maple. Oh, what a shot that was. Beautifully placed. And Giannis at that time could do nothing about it. And there is not much time left for Athênai to try and mount their equalizer. And an EVA, at least he gained the territory with that, but only sent it out for a goal kick, missing.
Yeah, looking for the dagger on a cheeky chip there.
Never troubled Anderson there, so I don't really say anything other though. Gintonic, now he gets a one-on-one chance and Gunnarsson saves it.
We're not done yet. Athênai love to strike on the counter. They're so deadly, so quickly.
What they've been able to do throughout the season. That's why they currently have been sitting mid-table. Järvinen. Inside an EVA. About 6.5 left in regulation. It feels like this side, we've been seeing a lot more of a play here. All of them trying to be so dangerous in their attack. Here they go.
It's a high-stakes match, and I'm sure all these players know.
Now, will there be any sort of caving under pressure, perhaps? Vin sends a long ball in. Maple is one-on-one, but a good save by Anderson, and he got back in time to clear it out for a throw.
Yeah, Maple just pressured into the shot there. Really good defense from Athênai. They left him one-on-one with Anderson, but Lockyer, more importantly, drifted a little lower to block the go-around by Maple.
Yep, Järvinen's header there and the crossing from Kamoyatu. Ended up going over the top. Now a chance late on here. 89 minutes on the board. Yoka in for 44, but he just missed it, and a heart-wrencher for them. Probably might be the last best chance they get. Another Okamoto, but stolen away by Jaeger. Jaeger with a lot of room to work. Goes to more space with Gintonic. Can they get an equalizer here, Athênai? Gintonic in 44. Great save. Gunnarsson needed to make that save. That's a championship saving save. And Gunnarsson has to hoof it clear. Mojo Riley couldn't get on the end of it. Sent back for Anderson, who tried to send it right back in, but it just falls in the midfield for Ligmanen. 44 looked like they had maybe an opening. Didn't go to it. They just played it soft to Jaeger. And now Yoka, blocked by Järvinen. One final corner, perhaps. Yoka in, headed away by Busquets. This will be brought back into play, and is 92nd minute. Kamoyatu with an intercept. One clearance would do it. Maple does just that. Len sends it in. Is there anything left for Athênai? They do have Gintonic. They might just hold on for one more chance. No, the referee says no, says there wasn't enough time, and Athênai perhaps feel robbed by that, but Catalunya keeping championships hopes alive if only one day more.
Well, thank you to Catalunya. I'm looking forward to our next match day. I'm teasing. I'm always looking forward to our next match day. But credit to Catalunya snatching a win from the jaws of defeat today. Really never at risk of losing this game, if I'm honest. But they did do what they needed to do today, and that is pull off a big win against Athênai. For Athênai, their slumps continue. This is yet another loss to their mid-season form. And it's getting worrying for them now. You alluded to it earlier. They have slid themselves from competing for the title to competing to stay up in Division 1.
Yeah, while potentially dropping those points might prove crucial, but they do still have a little bit of a buffer on who currently sits in the relegation zone. And still 4 points clear of União Sao Paulo with 3 games to play. And while Catalunya, they could still survive on for perhaps a little bit longer here.
Well, they'll keep their dreams alive. It'll take a lot of work from the oppositions of Hollywood. I think they've already played Kaapstad twice, so realistically, the rest of any of those teams could potentially take a win off of them. Of course, we are asking the near impossible. I say that out of favoritism for Hollywood, but literally they've not lost in the league this year.
Yeah, and I mean, I did say that it would be a championship saving save, but they would still have a very outside chance. But I don't see Hollywood completely losing out in their last 3 games unless, I don't know, California separates from the United States geographically. It's the only way I could see it happening. But anyway, we go on to our last match for two teams that, as they run in the relegation zone into London on 10 points, and Kaapstad, well, they need this game if they have any chance of going up, but that's
Well,
such a tough ask for them right now,
they are
given that.
not
Hmm,
pointless anymore. Kapstad, they did pick up a point on a draw, I believe, the other day.
it's not what I have on my standing, so I'll have to double check the copies.
It
Send
may have
out
been
to
a
us.
while ago then.
Yeah, it also might have just been in the cup. I will double check this. There was a early opportunity here for Kaapstad. They seem to be having the brunt of them early on in this match. As Yeboah clears this one out, Miller will look to Hannah Solari, who has been put into the starting role for this one. Over to Yorde. Yorde challenging Muller, goes for a long shot and trouble Dexter Hall. Doesn't quite find the target. I have double checked. Kaapstad are still, unfortunately, 0-0-10.
Really, I thought they had a draw. Oh, I misread the standings because the sim simulated it as a draw as opposed to actually showing us the result.
Oh, you did that. Yep. Okay. No, makes
Yep,
sense.
yep, yep. I've looked at the wrong
Fell into
thing.
that issue. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll happen. We move. Yeah. Still now into London, finally mounting perhaps their second opportunity. There's the floor working against Muller. Back in for Solari. Long header. I think it was tapped again by Clements, but all got in the way of it.
So Inter London playing today in a 4-2-3-1 asymmetric, very similar to how Hollywood are lined up, though they aren't employing the shadow striker and they do have the two wingers,
Yep.
albeit in an inverted role.
Indeed. And as for the side of Kaapstad, we'll get to that just as soon as this corner clears out, and it's headed over by Dadzinalot. Sarah, do you have a tactics for Kaapstad?
Kapstadt, I am trying to understand their tactic. I apologize. The best I could say is it is an asymmetric 4-3-2-1 with a defensive midfielder.
Yeah. I was looking at that, and that seemed about right. As Nagatoro Maradona go back to Muller, now Hulkavodo. Now for Kraustis. It's over to Zimmer. Zimmer through for Adi Nagatoro, but a good save there by Yeboah on the near post.
One could also call this Kapstadt formation a 4-1-2-2-1, but I feel like that's too many numbers.
Well, I mean, 4-1-2-1-2 can sometimes be said as one as the 4-4-2 variant, so I suppose it's not out of the question. Perhaps you could just narrow that to the old classic 4-1-4-1. Away Dimitrov, try to find Yorde on the end of that cross, but didn't end up finding him, just put it wide.
I touched on it earlier this cast. The 4-1-4-1, a season 6 favorite, season 5 as well. Oh, commands off the bar.
That might actually have been off the post there, or even saved by Hall and just hit off the post, but still, a very close opportunity that didn't quite go in London's way. It's Kaapstad will need to try and get some points, as I mentioned earlier, to keep any sort of hope alive for getting themselves into, or keeping themselves in Division 1 rather, and not being relegated and into London. Pretty much neither points at this point, as Solari was trying to find out the end of it. Ended up getting a back though. Scud Muffin, a shot, rebound, fell. Not quite to them. And it was cleared out there, I believe, by Abdullah Kamavinga. Oh, great intercept there by Kraustis. Yorda nearly was able to get to that one, but Kraus got a run on, but had no real support. Begin to attack him that left flank. I'll try to find Dimitrov, but headed back over by Doug. Vukovato ended up giving it away to Yorda, though. Pinkman now to K. Clements. Great block, Camavinga. Pinkman heads it back in. Clements one-timer is wide left. Scud to take the corner. Headed away by Norris. Solari will be first to it. Closely challenged by Addy. On now to Millar. Over to Pinkman. Pinkman had space and time perhaps, but went back to Yorda, and it was blocked by Claire Norris.
Another corner here for Inter London.
Yep. They get this one to find a target. Nope, that time it's headed away by Camavinga. Taken back in by Solari. Closely marked by Addy. Millar now back over to Pinkman, and now Tata Yorda. Trying to run by Muller. To pull some defenders over, but a great block by Norris. Wow, I feel like I've seen this one before. Not for a corner this time, though. Given up to DeFleur. DeFleur over to Solari, but headed away by Doug.
Yeah, get ready to see a lot of that. I think that we're going to see a lot of that from both sides of the pitch. And by both sides, I mean both left and right of the field.
Yeah, but perhaps they might not look for the inexperienced Tihomir Dimitrov, a recent waiver claim. Making his way up into Division 1. Dimitrov goes to Solari. Dimitrov now a shot. Ooh, took one on there. Ended up being saved there by Hall.
Forcing the save by Hall there. A good opportunity by Dimitrov. And Alsard half ticks out here. One last chance, maybe?
Clements. Play it back and forth there. Yorda tries to cross in, but blocked by Muller. Kraus just deep in the corner. Got it out to the Del Valle. Now they'll try and work a counter-attack, but the floor heads it right back. That through ball intended to Zimmer. Dives in a lot. Over Yorda. Yorda tried to loft it for Clements, but he didn't make a run at it. Headed back. Kraustis. Closely marked by Pinkman. Muller flicked forward to Zimmer. Now an opportunity as they get flowing here. Nagatomo with a shot, but Yeboah is there to make the save. Still not over yet, though. He cleared it out to Solari. Donnarumma. How long will referee let play develop? How long quickly they could attack Milan. Now to Yorda. Yorda's shot is blocked, and with the ball going out for a throw-in, Ryan Gallagher's seen enough and blows for half-time.
Yeah, longest minute I've seen in a long time, really.
And, well, decently evenly matched in terms of passing, and that's about it, really. It feels like Inter London's had most of the opportunities. They've had more headers. They've had more crossing attempts. They've completed more than Kaapstad have had even half of.
Yeah, but if I'm honest, the quality of chances from both teams, Kaapstad have actually had a good couple quality chances and good looks at the net. Inter London have had a lot of chances, not a ton of them quality, if I'm honest. And throughout the entirety of the first half, it's been like that. A bit of a poor match from both sides.
Relatively even chances-wise, but there's one, and it's Walter Pinkman at last getting his first goal, and it only took 19 seconds of the second half.
Why do we even bother talking anymore?
Good question. Do you just want to be silent for the last 45 minutes? And just...
Not necessarily.
That was a joke. I wouldn't do that.
I don't have the capability. I get too excited. What a header by Pinkman.
Yeah, and that is Walter Pinkman's first goal of the season. It took him 11 games to get there, but at long last, finally opens his account.
Now, and a really good cross there by Dimitrov, the rookie.
Yeah, and now he's thinking he wants to go again, but he just hit the bar.
He's also against a very good goalkeeper. Dexter Hall, although the numbers are not going to be in his favor this year, has performed above and beyond.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you have that many shots to face, if you can perform more than expected, that might be why he's been seen that way, as headed by K. Clements that we just saw a little bit earlier, wasn't able to find its target. Now here's Scud Muffin to place a corner in, cleared out by Camavinga. This time it's Dives in a lot, who's first to the ball though. Given off to Millar. Yorda, now Pinkman, trying to find Scud. Sent back instead for Dimitrov. And they basically reset, fell on the floor with more space than I've ever seen them in. Decides to walk it over Clements, who just put it wide. Or went for the one timer there. Maybe could have had a propensity for an extra touch.
Certainly had the time, but of course, you take the extra touch and you give Hall to get to that time to get in position. He's been really good when he has time to set up like
Yep, and
that.
that time might not have had much time, admittedly, but he was able to make a save and turned it out for a corner. 7-8 through this match. Scud back in, cleared out there by Gordon. Clements goes back to Muffin, back inside, and Muffin had gone back on side following the corner. Old favorite, just going back to a player that you think is on side, but because of taking the corner kick, he hadn't been able to get back in time.
Yeah, no, I'm
Block out.
actually I was gonna say I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that this year. I used to see a lot of those highlight clips where it's a throw in and one guy throws the ball in, the other guy's already offside when he receives, and then he takes the touch, passes it to another guy who's offside, and the referee blows the whistle. Hasn't
Yep.
happened a ton this year.
Yeah, thankfully not, I reckon. I feel like it's just more most SSL players have been able to clean up that error in judgment.
Yep, but they're still getting trapped offside more often than not, as we've seen
Yeah,
in a
so perhaps
couple of games.
I just moved to a different spot as here's Socc a drive, and what a finish! Oh, that's a great way to equalize for Kaapstad. It won't save him from relegation as it stands, but wow, what a great positive note to have, especially this late in a match.
Yeah, what a pass from Nagatoro Maradona, and more importantly, what a shot by Hokovoto. A first goal of the season for him, definitely not the first of his career. He scored buckets for what was then Sydney City, now is Reykjavik. And yeah, credit to him, the credit is due.
Yep, the Kaapstad still need to survive for that first point, but dives in a lot. Won't be able to chalk that one in the potential loss column just yet. Time ticking down here, though, and Inter London might feel that chances have gone begging if they cannot convert in stoppage time. Fourth official sign says 2. A sign for any of those players to come off. Here's Dimitrov now for Clements. Back for Solari. Solari will whip it over. Oh, Scud Muffin will be ruining that chance. Will Kaapstad just opt to park it?
92
will.
minutes look like.
Artiglione was offside there, so that probably does it. And Kaapstad finally get their first points as it still seals their fate.
Yeah, tough. Well, not a tough result for Kaapstad. What a way for them to pick up their first points of the division, right? It is an important point for them. Morale-wise, it's they're not going to be the first team pointless through our Division 1 here. So they definitely will end the season with at least one. On the other side of the pitch, this is an important result for Inter London. They were looking to create some space, especially with Sao Paulo drawing today. Instead, they'll remain they'll remain exactly even keel.
Yeah, and I mean, one has to look towards that attack. Clements, Muffin, and Yore, 17 shots. Only 3 of them, no, not even that, 2 of them were on target. That's disconcerting.
Yeah, nope, definitely going back to the training grounds for a little finishing practice tomorrow. More than likely what's going through the coach's head right now. Tough result for Inter London, who had 2.20 XG and only managed to find one in that match. As we come to the end result table here, nothing changes.
Yep, no movement, though. The results that may be sealed up, may be cleared out soon. Of course, Sao Paulo will end up actually getting themselves a little bit better on goals scored compared to Inter London if they do end up equal on points. That's really all there is to say on it. I mean, other than that, I mean, Tokyo got their first draw, but they still end up making ground on a TNI to perhaps cement themselves in third position.
And I do apologize for Sao Paulo. I've said the entire cast that they are on par with Inter London. I'm seeing now that they are indeed a point
Well, they
off.
were on par until that result when
Provisionally on par.
Yeah, Inter London hadn't gained points in that regard. But nonetheless, I think that will probably do us. Sarah, any closing thoughts?
Really exciting matches today, especially that Sao Paulo Tokyo game. I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like down the line for Sao Paulo. But all in all, Catalunya did what they need to do to keep the competition alive. We go on to Matchday 12, and maybe we crown a winner next time out.
Yeah, I mean, we have a fair few matches to look forward to in that one, of course. Just pulling up the schedule before we sign off here. I mean, with only 3 match days to go, it's no surprise that, there's so much on offer, but and why do I not have my schedule with me? I'm looking through it for my notes and I can't seem to find it. I'm stalling for time here, can you tell? Just try my best here, all right? All right. Match day 12, Division 1. Cairo faces Inter London. Winner very likely secures themselves a spot out of relegation as it would tie Inter London and Cairo, and Inter London would take it on goal difference. Tokyo plays Catalunya. Can Tokyo spoil the party? União Sao Paulo, in what would be considered a must-win game for them, have to go up against Hollywood FC, and FC Kaapstad takes on Athênai. All of those coming up next time around. That'll be in about 48 hours from when this video goes out. Sarah TVC, the rest of the Simulation Soccer League crew. I've been Socc. We'll see you next time.
Good night, everyone.